Well, may I begin, Fiona? I have a
yes,
lovely
that would be
poem,
wonderful.
to
Yes.
start with, and then this is called Autumn Fires by Robert Louis Stevenson. Man's one method, whether he reasons or creates, is to half shut his eyes against the dazzle and confusion of reality. Life is monstrous, infinite, illogical, abrupt, and poignant. A work of art, in comparison, is neat, finite, self-contained, rational, flowing, and emasculate. In the other gardens, and all up in the vale, from the autumn bonfires, see the smoke trail. Pleasant summer over, and all the summer flowers, the red fire blazes, the grey smoke towers. Sing a song of seasons, something bright in all, flowers in the summer, fires in the fall.
That's so beautiful.
Can't
That's
beat
so
it, can
beautiful.
you?
No.
You
I
can't
really
beat it.
think it sums up what we were saying, that you can have the flowers in the spring and the summer, but there's the richness of emergence of the mushrooms, the toadstools, or it's like the flowers of the autumn. And if we want to, it's always there. It just changes, in fact.
Absolutely. It's and on a technical side, that is, that poem appears to be so simple, but trying to write something like that,
Yes.
with its barely perceptible rhythm,
Yes.
and yet it's there like a soft heartbeat, like the soft heartbeat of the time of year almost. God, I am distracted by a crane fly that's buzzing around.
Yes,
up there.
it's enjoying the poems.
Would you care to share?
Yeah, I will actually, because we've often talked about writing poetry, what encourages us to write poetry, what type. But often people go, "Oh, I won't write it in case I'm not going to be very good at it." But there is no right or wrong. It could be rhyming if that's what makes you feel comfortable in your soul. Yes, comfortable is the right word. Often rhyming can make us feel at peace. Or it can be just abstract, so we can let our thoughts just flow and roll out to sum up that real moment, that sensation of what we were feeling at that moment. And particularly at this time of year, I think with autumn, so often we can feel like, oh, it's autumn, everything's going to start to decay, we're going to slip into the winter, but I actually think it's the time of rebirth. Like with spring, everything comes out, but this is the yin to the yang, and the autumn is also rebirth. Everything mulches down, but that's where all the life is happening underneath the soil. It's all as busy underneath as it is above. Maybe in spring it's all above and not below, and in autumn it's below and not above. So with that, I wanted to write a couple of poems about looking up and looking down, because I often think when we are feeling low, it's because we get inside our heads and get very human again in this human modern life. So it's about getting out to get in, to really see. So I've written two small poems.
Beautiful.
One about looking up at the birds, and in the autumn we see the buzzards behind our house and also the sparrowhawks with all their sounds. But most what's beautiful is the way they enjoy riding the thermals.
Yes.
I think they do it just for fun.
Yes.
And then the second poem is getting down dirty into the grass and putting my head sideways and looking what's there and seeing the slugs and seeing from their world. Because when it rains, the slugs come out. So it will start with the birds, and then we'll go down to the slugs.
Please.
Okay, so let me open up and invite you to
this is a great honour to be so close to your poetry book.
if you could, you'd have to, with my writing, you have to squint at it. And a bit like what we were talking about before, there's crossings out, there's scribblings, it's got an energy of its own.
Yes. Do you want to show the camera at all, or would that be appropriate?
Yes, so it changes, it mutates. A couple of years later, like you were saying, Andrew, a couple of years later, I'll look and go, actually, I know how to express that more. I have the vocabulary now to really find that word that I wanted to. So let me put my glasses on, otherwise nothing will be read. So about the birds that I watch.
Hope they're not your sunglasses.
That will come in a few episodes later when it's summer.
Yes, indeed.
A bird flying high, shimmering, ethereal, flap quicker and soar and swoop. Feel the clarity, feel the heat of the sun warming wings and bones. Intoxicating life, timeless release. A pure moment of smiling. But for now I just sense it in a yearning memory that reminds me of that once captured fissure of time and rushing emotion of existence and what it is to be truly free.
Oh. Oh.
It's that moment when you stand and you look up and they're enjoying all that open space. And I think in modern day life, we don't often get the big views. I used to live in London up to 3 years ago, and I was lucky to live near the docks and you could see the wide expanse there, but often there was some kind of building blocking the view. So to think, oh, I'll be up there and look at the whole view. I think that's what we need to do with our lives sometimes as well, look down at the whole view rather than the minutiae. But now we're going to go down and look at the minutiae because this is about
great, lovely.
about our lovely little sluggy, snaily friends. Okay. This is a silly poem, really. As it's like viewing it through the eyes of a child. Sliding through the undergrowth, peeking out between the blades. It's all dangerous, larger than I am. I feel safe hiding in my moving mollusk smallness. Am I moving quick for me, or from above? Am I static? I feel protected down here. I like my immediate vicinity. Friendly stone, mirrored dewdrop, green lines and veins, fresh soil beneath me. It smells earthy and good. The gravel is reflexology for my whole body. I think I'll stay here in this fresh, damp air.
Oh, you know you're in the middle of quality writing when you just don't want it to end.
Well, I think he probably goes on slithering through the undergrowth, but it's their world, and I often see all these, when it rains, you can get the downpours. They're there everywhere over the patio, and I keep wanting to pick them up and put them on the grass, thinking, why are you over there when you've got all this space to have to slither back to your earthiness? But they're obviously enjoying it in some way.
Yes.
So I mustn't meddle because
you think
that's a
there's an
human.
enjoyment? They have this. The slugs have this.
You can
capacity?
see them. Yes, when you get down, I love to be like a child and get down right on the ground and have a look, and you see their wavering little antennae. And sometimes when I watch them, I've got these little videos of watching and it's really mindful to see where they go. And especially with the snails, their twisty, lovely, turny path as they find a beautiful stem and curl around, and that is their adventure. Wow. They don't have to travel far to enjoy that. And I wonder if they like the different feelings of the senses on their body, the grittiness or the smoothness of a stem.
So yes, no, but it actually doesn't. When I said the word enjoy, that doesn't really matter at all. That word doesn't really matter, does it?
Yes.
Because what an animal or a creature or a plant may be experiencing is so far beyond our capacity to name or understand.
I think so. But I do wonder when you actually have time to stop and stare, that actually you see such emotion in all creatures, whether it's a fly that's landed and is washing itself. You know, it's washing itself, it wants to be clean.
I've never thought of a fly washing itself.
Yes,
but I will now.
I like to observe. I'm very chatty, but when you stop and you breathe and you look, and suddenly you feel like part of everything again. I don't think we stop and just look from a different angle enough.
And you do, without, because Fiona does a lot of Reiki as part of your life.
Yes.
And I've had the great privilege to have a session of this. And one of the things that you do also is to express in very poetic words, by which I mean very elusive and words that go very deep underneath the intellect. You will sometimes speak of what you felt or seen while the Reiki's been going on. I mean, that's a really interesting skill. Would you say that's poetic in some sense?
Thank you. And yes, it's feeling you're part of something. I think so often in our present day society we can feel very isolated, but that's just when we're not connected. But when we actually start looking at things from different angles or feeling part of everything, we can stand back and we can go, actually, I feel what that might be thinking, not anthropomorphizing, but actually to study and observe and actually see there is way more going on beyond my closed mind at that particular moment. So yes, you can feel more, you can sense more, and it can just lift the senses up, just that little bit, which is all we need sometimes.